I'm here in New York City for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is so that I can interview someone who I've interviewed before, but I've always really enjoyed their perspective on the voiceover industry. So, without further ado, I take you to Edge Studio. So as you can tell, I'm with David Goldberg. I'm Dane Reid, the voiceover guy. It has been years. I feel like it's been maybe 2015 when I came here last and interviewed you.
We've been at this location since 11 years. It's now 2024 now, right?
Yeah.
So since 13. Yeah, we probably were only here for, I guess, a year or two when you were last here.
Yeah, a lot has changed in voiceover. I always enjoyed your take on things in voiceover. I remember you spending those extra long session hours at VO Atlanta. People would file in and it would be a thing that everyone would talk about afterwards because it was always so insightful. Your take on the voiceover industry, your knowledge of sound, of talent, every aspect of the business, you're always on top studying. And so it's always interesting to hear your take. So I think the biggest thing, of course, everyone wants to know, when are we going to be out of jobs? Like, how long do we have
How long can we
left,
last?
right?
Yeah.
Before, VO talent are like packing up their equipment, trying to sell it on eBay and stuff like that, or Facebook Marketplace. How long do we have? What are the biggest threats right now in the VO industry? And I want to say, interestingly enough, the last time that I saw you, the conversation wasn't about AI. The conversation was, oh my goodness, they're taking our jobs on Fiverr.
Oh yeah.
Right. And now, now the Fiverr guys are like, oh my gosh.
They're taking our jobs in
taking
AI.
our jobs in AI. Yeah, how long do we have before this whole takeover starts?
Well, for the record, I have no idea because I don't know the future, but I think we have a long time.
Okay.
We just invested in Studio C. We just completely rebuilt Studio C. So,
okay.
I think it's like other industries that have been infiltrated by some technology. Like I have a good friend who's a graphic artist,
okay,
and he still has a job.
Mm-hmm.
I have a good friend who's a photographer. He still has a job.
Okay.
But there are fewer professional graphic artists and fewer professional photographers. Yeah. But there's always, I think, going to be a need for some people, some human beings to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe what's going to happen in the voiceover world is that there will always be work for voice actors and voice directors and voice engineers and so on, but not as many as we have right now. But this industry keeps growing.
What do you think, what have been the changes in terms of the kind of work that you guys have done over the years? Or has there been a change? And what was popular then? What's popular now?
Wow, interesting. I think the only things which are more popular now, well, there's a few. I think that everything that was popular then is still popular now. I feel like the whole industry has grown. I was first going to say that e-learning has grown a lot. However, so have commercials, so have video games, so has application software, like for narrated apps and narrated software and tutorials. Narrations have grown. I feel like every segment has grown. Nothing has slowed down. The only thing I think that will probably begin slowing down would be lower forms of e-learning and telephony. And that is because for some of those recordings, human performance is not necessary.
Okay.
So that can go to AI.
Okay.
So I think kind of combining your questions, I think AI will take over areas of voiceover where a client doesn't care about direction. You can plug in the words, you get the recording back, It doesn't have to sound like a human being, or it can sound really close to a human being.
Mm-hmm.
And the client doesn't have the ability and doesn't care about having the ability of saying, can you emphasize that word? Can you slow down here? Can you speed up there? We want a bit more smile on this. Oh, this line is supposed to have a bit of, sarcastic humor. If you don't need that stuff, then go AI. Why not? But for everything else, when you need human direction, I think we're still in it. And therefore, all the other genres are just busy. Like, we are really, really busy. Thank goodness.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I know when you say that and when this airs, people are going to say, oh, great, let's call Edge Studio, right? And as the industry has grown, so has the talent pool, of course. What do you think in terms of how talent can grow from 0 to 60 in a reasonable amount of time? What do you think, a new talent should be doing? Because of course, I'm sure you get a lot of calls.
Yeah, we have, half of our business is educational.
Uh-huh.
We were originally just production, casting, recording, production, mixing. And then more voice actors started saying, we really like the way you direct. Can you help with our training? Can you help with our demos? And that's become half of our business now, the school side of Edge. So for someone who is new, I think it's even more important today than ever before to make sure you're talented before you enter the business, because even though there is more work, there are more voice actors more people trying to get into voiceover, like you said.
And there's already a huge talent pool of talented voice actors.
There are.
That people who are new are going to have to compete with.
Yes, that's true. But interestingly, getting sidetracked here to that point, when you compete on the online platforms, clients don't know if you're brand new or not.
That's true too.
To some degree, everyone has I can't think of the right term, but you start at the same place from the client's perspective. So I think that even though there is more work, there are more voice actors, and I think to get into this industry without training is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
To that note, I can tell you that we get calls just about every day from voice actors, probably every day from voice actors, who complain about the online casting sites, or complain about an agent, or complain about a production studio's roster and say, it's ridiculous, they're taking my money, I audition, hundreds, thousands of auditions, I never win anything, these guys are just taking my money. And the blame seems to always go on the
other side.
Agent or the online, the other side.
Yeah.
And so we offered a service beginning about 2 or 3 months ago. We offer a review service, $50, just to cover our basic time. And 99.9% of the time, man, you listen to those auditions, the talent is not talented. So of course they're not winning.
Right.
And so to get into the industry today, more than ever, I think that I know that you need to have some chops.
Yeah.
So to all of you who say you have a great voice and you think you read well, still get an evaluation. Figure out what genre of the industry would be best for you. Figure out where your strengths are, your weaknesses are. Think about your personal interests. Think about your lifestyle, your natural characteristics, and figure out where you belong in this industry. And find the intersection of all of those things that I just mentioned, and look at the 27 or 28 different genres of voiceover and say, you know what? Based on all that stuff, my strengths, my weaknesses, my personal goals, my lifestyle, what the demands of my life, how much time I have, it makes sense for me to focus on this genre or these genres, and then let me get training in those genres.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I had a conversation years ago with someone who was interested in doing voiceover, and she had worked in the radio industry for a while, which I always have my jokes about radio announcers, right? They jump out of radio announcing and I'm a voice actor,
Yeah.
And it doesn't always translate well. It does sometimes. There are some people who are in radio who are excellent at voiceover, but the assumption that you just come out of radio and you're excellent VO talent is just absolutely wrong. So this lady, I said to her, you should get some training and get a demo with a talented coach and everything. And she tells me she doesn't need that. she was in radio sales and has contacts with people, who are clients, and all she needs to do is just, sell her voice.
But the funny thing is, I can sort of understand that mentality, because if you go through your whole life and people say, dude, your voice is great,
Mm-hmm.
you should be on radio, then you're thinking, okay, my voice is already right for radio.
Mm-hmm.
It almost doesn't make sense to get training. Like, if everyone
Yeah.
says your voice is perfect for radio, like, it's there. Like, your voice is amazing. I wish I had your voice. And so, like, I don't know, if you have the voice, why would someone who doesn't know this industry think they need any training? You and I know how imperative it is to get training, because and for anyone who is watching this interview, all kinds of weird things, very weird things happen when you read scripts for the first time. Like, you stop using your natural voice.
Yeah.
And
You slip into the announcer voice.
that, or you read too quickly or too slowly, or you're overly enthusiastic, or you sound like you're reading because you're stilted and you're choppy, and whatever. There's all a litany of things that go bad haywire when you start reading, and you have to learn those things. So there are a lot of things that you need to learn.
Yeah. I think a lot of people also think, oh, wow, that must be easy, right? I got a voice, so yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, you got a microphone built into your laptop.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. When we hear auditions, when people send us auditions to review, not only is the performance lacking most of the time, but the audio quality is not so good.
You guys must hear a lot of things.
Yeah, we certainly do.
I kind of want to know, like, what's the strangest stuff you've heard? I want to know.
Well,
Strange
would be the underwear sawing.
What?
Yeah,
What?
we had a client in Japan who sent us a wrong demo.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So education is like super important, and you stress it. People call me and I stress it. But where do you direct people to, like, the best way for them to get started with Edge?
I would do if you want to get into voiceover, start with our intro package.
Okay.
I think it is the greatest thing, because it's a super honest, candid evaluation. We can take someone and say, hey, your voice is great, but you're not reading up to par, so it's not going to happen. Or you read really well, but your voice is not right, it's not marketable. Or you have a speech impediment or a weird accent or dialect that will really limit how much work you can possibly get. All different kinds of things arise. I always feel bad when people say to us, I want to get into voiceover, and I just spent like $500 buying a microphone and padding on the walls and a microphone stand and an interface and all the foam and whatever, and I think, and have you been evaluated? Do you know what you're going to do? And they say, no, I want to learn. And I think like you may have thrown away $500. Maybe not, but you may have. So I would definitely do some basic education prior to spending money. And the cool thing is, through the education process, you can use them like any microphone built into your laptop.
Yeah.
Because when you're training, you don't need sound quality.
No.
We just need to hear your voice.
Right.
How you read.
Right. It's the quality of your acting.
Yes.
So, where can people reach you for evaluations? Do they go to your website, or do they?
Yeah, our website
call
is.
you guys?
Yeah, and any of that is fine. It's our
Wait,
website.
I have one more question. So, are you guys still doing your Sunday sessions? I remember the last time I was here, you guys were doing Sunday, like a Sunday call or evaluation or something like that.
Oh, talk time.
Okay.
Which just recently we're thinking about bringing back again. I don't know if you know about this, the coolest thing by far we have going right now is called Home Studio Show and Tell.
Okay.
We have it every month.
Okay.
2 voice actors give a live tour, an interactive tour on Zoom. Everyone who calls into the webinar can talk with the voice actors giving a tour. This show is a chance to get a sneak peek and see inside other studios. And so the episodes are an hour long. We have 2 voice actors, so they each go for about a half hour, and we just talk about their studio. And everyone on who's watching just asks questions, and it brings up the most really amazing conversations. Someone might show like a clamp microphone stand that will attach to like wood like this. And people start saying, oh, I needed something like that. Like, where is that? And everyone starts saying, oh, here's a link. And oh, I have this other one. And here's another link. And it opens up conversation and dialogue. And I know, in fact, that the voice actor who's giving the tour of their studio learns a lot about their own studio. They get ideas, and everyone else watching gets ideas. So that's free.
Yeah.
That is the first Tuesday of every month.
Okay. I'm a home studio nerd too. So
I'll send you a link later.
So just go to the website. Go to edgestudio.com.
Go to edgestudio.com.
Okay.
And click on resources, and you'll see home studio show and tell. I'll send you a link.
Okay.
It is fun to like see other studios and
I nerd out over that.
It's fun. It's very fun. I just love this stuff.
So, David, I appreciate this interview. It's been so long since I've even been to New York City, but then also seen you and been to the studio here. So it's always a great visit and always interesting seeing what Edge has going on and seeing how you're doing. You look great.
I feel okay. Meanwhile,
we're not as young as like that last interview.
I know.
Yeah.
You walked in limping, like I'm like being careful of my back. Like it's not good.
Yeah.
So I think we can leave everyone with 2 pieces of advice.
Okay.
Get training and don't get old. Stop aging.
The alternative is not. It's not good.
Seriously, our last interview, I think we were standing. Now we're like, you're sitting down.
No, we were sitting, but we were able to get up. I was able to get up. It would be like a quick, now it's like I have to put both of my legs together, right? I have to hold myself like this and kind of push myself up as if, I'm in one of those reclining or sit-up chairs like my grandmother used to have.
That's funny. I somehow remember though, like we were standing at some point or something.
No, we were sitting. No. I remember the interview.
See, even memory goes.
Yeah, I feel like I even think I had a blue shirt on. I'm gonna go back and review that video.
Okay, awesome. Well, it's great seeing you.
Yeah, it's always good.
Oh, it could be.
No, I really think so. No, seriously. I still do that. I still pick up the phone and say, hey, I've got this really rocking demo. I make them believe it. I sell it to them, and it still works.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, but you have to follow it up with the chops when they actually call you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well, that's one of the big things about demos. Like, you never really know.
Yeah.
Which is why we ask for auditions all the time.
Okay.
We had, oh my goodness, this sucked. We had a commercial recording, and the voice actor was not so good. She just couldn't take direction, and it was a bear. Oh my goodness. I tried, and the client tried. She could do it her way. She could not do it the client's way. And it was not going well. Every time we gave her direction, she would pause after the direction, as if she was kind of reflecting back, thinking, did I do it? And so now the read was choppy, here, add some value on this word. She'd say, okay, here's some value. And then she'd keep reading. It was bizarre. I
have to tell you the truth. I, even to this day, have always felt that kind of awkwardness in live sessions, right? It's like, because you have no idea what they're thinking, so you're like, yeah, and then they're just quiet, right? And then you hear that sound of them like coming in, like, yeah, Dane, can you, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's really weird. And especially coming from like the background that I have, I work independently almost all of the time, right? So when I do live sessions, it's like super awkward.
Yeah. I found over the years of directing talent, which is like my main day-to-day thing, that almost every voice actor always assumes that silence is bad.
That's the way that it feels.
Which really totally sucks for us, because once a voice actor is in a negative place,
yes,
it's harder to get a good read out of them.
Yeah, and I can see that.
And then because they put themselves in a negative place, it makes their read not as good. So now we need to give more direction, which puts them in a more negative place. And it's that negative cycle. Most of the time, I'm in there like talking with the clients, and just thinking like, okay, guys, what do you want to get for lunch after this? Like,
We don't know that, though.
I know. So
we're on this side,
I will
and we're just like in this isolated world. We're all alone,
I know.
and you guys are talking about lunch, and
I really do make a concerted effort to let the talent know that everything is fine. As soon as I can, I tell the talent, by the way, it sounded great. We're just trying to figure out if it's like, if the speed is good where it is, or if we need to speed it up. And by the way, everything is about phrasing. For me, everything is phrasing everything in a positive way for the talent. So if the talent is going too fast, for example, which is quite often the case, rather than tell the talent, dude, you're so fast, or dude, you've got to slow down. I just say, sounds great. We're wondering for time-wise how it would sound if it was slower.
Yeah.
We're going to save that take, but let's get one slower, and we'll just do a comparison. Now the talent is in a good place.
Yeah.
It's all about keeping the talent in that positive place. So yeah, going back to the beginning thing, whenever we can, we let the talent know, like, everything's cool. We're talking about lunch. Can we get you something?
Right.
But yeah, I don't know why. Like, every talent goes to a negative place all the time.
Yeah.
To like start sweating in here.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I'm guilty.
Why do you
that
guys
guy.
do that?
Because we're the ones who's on the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? We're the center of attention at that moment.
Oh, that's what you think.
Every word, that's the way it feels.
The client thinks that they're on the spotlight. The ad agency, they're sweating because they want to keep their client.
Yeah.
The marketing person wants to keep their job. The copywriter wants to keep their job. The engineer, they want to keep their job.
At that point,
I'm the voice director. I want to keep my job. Everyone wants to keep their job.
At that point, we feel like we're at the lowest end of the totem pole.
Oh,
so if anybody gets kicked out, it's us, right? So it's like, oh, you didn't get that sound, right? So, before everybody else gets fired, get another talent. you know?
I think when there's if the talent is not doing a good job, I think the client would be first responses to the casting team. You didn't get a good talent. I think my company would lose the client. David, like, your company gives us like crappy talent.
Yeah,
but I'm the one who's gonna.
But at the end of the day, we're the crappy talent.
But then you and I are both like on the street, like begging for food. Well, it's great seeing you.
Yeah, it's always good. Thank you for the interview.
Absolutely.
And cut.